Okay, guys, so today is lesson 6, okay? Our goal for today is going to be able to take everything that we've done so far and apply it to word problems, okay? So that basically looks like, can we still apply the man method, okay? And then interpret what happens when we use the man method, okay? And then be able to find the axis symmetry like before, okay? And then be able to calculate and plot the vertex and interpret the results, okay? Those are the 3 things that we're looking forward to be able to do today, okay? So let's take a look at the first question and we'll see how it goes, okay? So the following equation represents the flight of a ball, okay? Now you'll notice the negative out front. Whenever you throw a ball, it has to go up and come down, right? So the parabola is opening down. That negative has to be there, okay, in order for that to be true. Okay, so with that being said, let's just work our way through here, okay? So the first thing you want to find is find the height at which the ball started, okay? Okay, how do we do that? Well, we take our equation. Okay, we take our equation, and if you recall, so horizontal distance, we want to figure out how far did the ball actually go, right, on our graph. And so in order to figure out the horizontal distance, well, we must have started at some horizontal distance, which is 0, okay, or whatever horizontal distance you're starting at. Conveniently, most of the time we'll start at 0 just because that's the easiest thing to do, right? So if you take the horizontal distance, we'll call this x, and this is going to be height, right, along the y. And if I plug in the horizontal distance of 0 into for x, okay, I should get an answer for y, height. So let's do that. So I'm going to plug in negative 0 squared minus 4 times 0 minus 12. Right, so I'm going to get y equals, these are going to cancel because there's 0, 0 squared, and minus 4 times 0, 0. I'm going to get negative times negative 12, which is equal to positive 12, okay? So therefore, the height at which the ball started was 12 meters. Okay, so which means I can get rid of this now. I'm going to get rid of these arrows, okay? Get rid of all this stuff. I hope the x can stay. Okay, it means that at 0, the ball started at 12 meters. Okay, that's the height of a building or something, right? Okay, we can draw our building. We're shooting this ball off the top of a building or something, okay? So, second thing it asks for, find the height at which the ball, or sorry, how far did the ball travel? Yeah, that's this part. Okay, this okay, this we could use using our man method. Okay, if we take an equation, right? So if you picture here for a sec, I'm going to throw this ball, and it's going to come up and come down somewhere. I don't know where, right? But it's going to come down and make contact with the ground, okay? This is what we call a root or 0 or X-intercept, right? The same thing could be true. It's a parabola. It could come down here and make contact somewhere down here, right? So there's our parabola, okay, where we throw the ball up and it comes down, okay? So we want to figure out these 2 points here, right? That's what these are. That's what we're doing with man, right? So we're trying to figure that out. Okay. So what we're going to do, I'll redraw that in a sec. Okay. We need to do our man method in order to switch the equation that we have, switch it from standard form to factored form so that I could read off those roots. Okay, so I'm going to factor this. So I'm going to rewrite the equation first. Okay, I need to apply our man method. Okay, So I need two numbers that multiply to negative 12, add to negative 4. Okay, those two numbers, 1 and 12, not going to work. Okay, what about 2? 2 times 6 is going to equal 12. I need it to be negative, so one of these two has to be negative. I don't know which one yet. But I also need it to add to negative 4. So if I take negative 6 and add 2, those are my two numbers. Okay, so my equation in factored form is going to look like this. Okay, that's my equation in factored form. Now, I'm not quite done yet. Okay. Now, what you need to know, okay, is I need to figure out what the actual x-intercepts are from here. And the way it works is, once you write this out, it always has to be opposite of what's there. So one of the x-intercepts, we'll call it x1, is going to equal negative 2. See how the negative 2 is opposite the positive 2 that's there? Okay. Okay, and then this one, we'll call this x2, is going to equal to positive 6. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my graph, get rid of my building now, kind of in the way. I'm going to plot one x-intercept, then I'm going to go find x equals 6, and I'm going to plot the other one. Okay, now my parabola is taking shape, but I'm not going to do this, right? That's not the parabola. Right, because it's not symmetrical, right? That's not right, okay? But you can answer the question now of, okay, well, I know the parabola, I know the ball went up and did something like this though, right? And it came down and made contact with the ground at 6. So I know for sure, right? The answer to one of these questions is ball traveled 6 meters horizontally. Okay, because it's made contact with the ground right there. Okay, so I don't know. There's one more thing left to do here, and I'll do this in a different color so you can see. Okay, and it is, the third thing is, how high did the ball go? Okay, well, I have two roots here. Okay, I know the parabola did something like what I drew here. Okay, I don't know if that's right or wrong. Okay, but here's the thing. I have what we know as being finding the axis of symmetry. Okay, we should be already able to do that. Okay, so to find the axis of symmetry is actually the middle of these 2 points. Okay, so I'm going to go on here. I'm going to find the axis of symmetry, or the middle of two values. Okay, so I got negative 2 and I've got 6. So I can do this visually if I had a graph. So I can go 1, 2. Oops, let's just clean this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's go 4 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So this should be our axis of symmetry. At x equals 2. You see my parabola was even off a little bit there, right? So the axis of symmetry, okay, how do I know that's right? Let's do this. AOS is finding the middle of the two values. So I have negative 2 is one of my values, and then I'm going to add it to 6 and divide by 2. This is like finding your average of your marks or something, right? So you'd take one number, add it to the other one, okay? And then there's 2, so that finds the middle for you. Okay, so it turns out negative 2 plus 6 is going to be positive 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2, right? That just confirms, that's how you do it mathematically, okay? But that confirms what we found on the graph. Okay. Now, once you have that, you know how to find the vertex from here, right? So if I take this point and plug into equation, I will get the vertex. Okay, so let's do that. We'll take y equals, and you could plug it into this equation or you could plug it into the original. It does not matter. Okay, so let's do, I'm going to plug it into negative x plus 2 x minus 6. Okay, so I'm going to plug in negative, or just positive 2. It's going to be negative 2 plus 2 multiplied by 2 minus 6, which is going to be negative 4 multiplied by negative 4, okay, which is going to be negative multiplied by negative 16. So these two negatives is like negative 1, which is going to positive 16. Okay, so the vertex is positive, or so we'll say 2 and 16. So I can go plot that, right? 16 just going to be above our graph, okay? And now I can actually plot the parabola and see what, actually we don't even need this back half, right? I know that when I throw the ball up, it's going to land there and come all the way back down to 6 meters, okay? And make contact with the ground. So then I could say my final answer here, or the last part where it said, and the maximum height the ball reached. What was the maximum height? 16 meters, right? So then there you could go say, therefore the ball reached a max height of 16 meters. Okay, that's it. So you can see how we're applying our man method, okay, and then we're using how we found the vertex to answer a whole bunch of different questions, right, with anything. Okay, the second question does a little bit more with financials, okay, or money, and I'll show you how to do that in a separate video. Okay.